Good morning, Story Trading VIPs. Let me just make sure I have the right link out there. Yep. All right. We're all set. So today is Wednesday, May 3rd. It's FOMC day, 2 p.m. Jerome Powell speaks. They decide the rates and everything else like that. So that's going to be really important. We're looking at the our macro list, our bank macro list. But before that, I just want to let everyone know 10:30 a.m. today. It's Tuttle Trades episode 3. So stay tuned for Tuttle Trades episode 3. We're going to talk about some new stocks. Now, regarding the situation here, FRC is bankrupt, right? So that's 0. Sad. Let's delete it. Okay. So regarding the situation here, there's a big bear raid. I've been talking about this since Friday on PACW and all the regionals. The shorts are trying to break the rest of the regional banks. Today's going to be an important day. Look, I'm hedging both in my IRA and in the fund with gold and Bitcoin because of currency concerns, debt concerns, and regional bank concerns. So at 2 p.m., look, it's broadly expected that Powell and the Fed, they're going to raise by 0.25. If for some reason they don't raise, I think the market rips. The question is going to be, let's assume it's going to be a raise. It's all going to be about, does Powell recognize the touchy situation we're in, right? Regarding the banks and the recession that we're probably already in Q2. Do they recognize that? And are they going to be dovish in commentary about that? Yes, probably they're going to pause, but what's the commentary around that going to be? If it's going to be dovish, if it's going to be deferential to the collateral damage that's happening, then I think the market can rally. If it's going to be like, it doesn't matter, there's going to be collateral damage and we just inflation, then I think the market can have a really hard time. So probably a good idea to have some hedge, some cash, play it however you want to play it. Let's go into our specific stocks this morning. We got a bunch of things to analyze. First of all, AMD and Starbucks earnings came out, and I'm seeing a theme. I am seeing a theme across enough companies to say, especially with Elon Musk's comments the other day on Twitter, that there is a slowdown in the economy happening right now in Q2. So we're talking about April, right? Because Q1, there's been a lot of beats, right? But guidance is down. Even AMD beat in Q1, but their guidance was down. Starbucks beat in Q1, but their guidance was flat. Here's another one. Generac beat in Q1, but their guidance was flat. Curious that it's up. I'm not chasing that. We'll talk about that in a second. So I think there's a lot of warning signs flashing from these earnings. Now, another earning that's more interesting, PERI. We've been waiting for this. Is that ChatGPT. It's a Bing play on PERI. They beat on the top and bottom line, and they rate by significantly, but they only raised guidance by 2%. Look, adjusted EPS 60 cents beats 43 cents. That's a pretty significant beat, but they only raised guidance by 2% on, I think it was on their income side, only by 2%. Why only by 2% with such a big beat? Could be because even though Bing is gaining market share, there's macroeconomic concerns, right? But I would say on this PERI, really good commentary regarding Bing market share and the impact it's having on the company. So that's why I think you're seeing the stock up more than 2%, right? It's going up more than the re-rating, up more than 2%. So let's look at the levels here. You got resistance at 50 DMA, which it's gapping over the 50 DMA right now. That might become support if it holds when the market opens. And then you're 38 or so. Let's see if you go to the weekly, if you get a different signal on these levels. But I think the sentiment's going to be high on this one. So I think you're going to get more than a 2% move on this, which you're already seeing. Let's just say that's how it's being justified in the market right now, in the pre-market at least. It's because of the sentiment from ChatGPT. They did also, it's an ongoing conference call right now. I'm not on it, started at 8:30. But this is top of my watch list today. And again, using story trading style to predict more than just the fundamental improvement of 2%, but add a sentiment tailwind to this, and then use technicals to get those overhead targets on PERI. That's a high on my watch list today as a possible play. And then I wonder, 50% year-over-year increase in Bing searches for PERI. I wonder if anyone at Microsoft is looking at that. I don't know if there's any other data in terms of Bing that's already out there, so people maybe already know. Maybe it's not news for Bing. But listen, I continue to think Microsoft is heading to all-time highs, even through all this turmoil. I'd not be surprised if the economy tanks in the next several months, but then you see Microsoft at all-time highs because this AI thing and this Bing thing is huge and huge for the bottom line for Microsoft. All right, then we had earnings on Talk. Earnings on Talk yesterday. It was good. The guidance has increased in terms of when do they reach profitability. They're saying now they're guiding instead of first half of 2024, pulling it forward to end of first quarter of 2024. So a few months earlier because of good results. Interestingly, though, their guidance only reflected annualizing their Q1 number. So you can see Q1 number 33.34 million. If you annualize that, it takes you to about 130 to 135 million. So there's good and bad here, right? In terms of profitability, good, but why aren't they raising the revenue guidance for the year? All in all, this market cares mostly about profitability right now, and that's why you see the stock up 10, 11%. And they did say they're being conservative in their guidance, right? That may be an explanation, but there could be other explanations which are not as rosy. But in any case here, I think these support levels are going to hold now with this news, the 2050 DMA, and your targets right there at 95 cents at the 200 DMA on Talk. All right, Celsius, I continue to like this. Earnings are coming out next Tuesday. It just came out Tuesday, May 9th after the close. So earnings coming out, and this is easy. This is an inside candle. It's very bullish. You got support here at 96. You got resistance at the top of yesterday's candle. Another resistance at the top of the candle the day before that. We've been playing this one like a fiddle. I mean, I think we have this one. I think we got this one. We understand how it works, and we'll have more successful trades on Celsius. All right, Generac. I talked about this for a second. That yes, Q1 was a beat, but their guide did not increase. So I'm a little bit surprised at this move, and I'm not chasing it. And it's at the top of resistance right now in pre-market at about 109. Okay, maybe if it pulls back to 102, I'd be interested. Something we'll be monitoring throughout the day. XXII, okay, this has been a swing for a while with a target of 78 cents now. The 50 DMA, the 79 to 78 cents, the 50 DMA. And that looks like it could hit our target today. Wow, look at that. If it opens at this level, because now it'll be odd. Let me see, 74. I'm looking at the high day, 75. Yeah, if it can hold 75 today, then I think it's like pretty much guaranteed you're hitting 78, 79 cents. Okay. So, what's this level here? 80 to 82 cents. All right, we'll have to play it by ear, but that's a swing target. I also own this long-term for multi-bagger potential, but as far as a swing, that's not bad. In at 70 out of 80. We'll see if that works out. All right. Now, a few other things we're monitoring. So that's it as far as news goes today. But there's several other stocks from the last few days which are continuing to have momentum that we're going to monitor. I will mention this stock is ZVRA, ZVRA Therapeutics, because they did have an IND accepted by the FDA. That means they can start phase 1 trial. I don't have chart data on it. Don't have high conviction on this, but it is a possible Russell 2000 inclusion play at a market cap of 170 million. I know our colleague Chris has been following this, so perhaps this is something that can make a move today. Again, I'm sorry, I can't give you levels on it, but that's just something to watch as far as the catalyst. Now, I have a group of stocks here that we're continuing to monitor. No catalysts today, but the catalysts, you know about them. We've talked about the catalysts for Atom and HIMS with the great earnings, and GANX and AUGX and LAZR and VTSI. All of these seem to continue to have momentum. They all have good charts. They're all on the cusp of breakouts. In one case, in VTSI, I think it actually broke out, even though it's low volume, but charts still work on these low volume stocks. So 550, that's your new support here. Broke the 20 DMA. This can go to 6 to 650. Earnings are coming out in less than 2 weeks. I love the fundamentals. I own it in my IRA. So this one, pretty excited about, above the 20. Know about Atom, following up on the ST Micro. This hit our first target, and now it's breaking it. Wow. This could be explosive. Watch this carefully. If we hold like 885 as a low of day today, this thing can rocket to $10 to $12. Huge short position on this. You got the strong tailwind of the sentiment changing on ST Micro deal. So this is a possibility. I mean, what's the short position? Like 20%. And it's like 30 days to cover. It's ridiculous. All right. But there are like 885, maybe 850 might be a support level. But this one high on our watch list for a potential short squeeze. This could have a legit short squeeze. So watch that. HIM's another one that's been playing with the breakout levels in a short squeeze, and it's been doing it. It keeps hitting new highs. It's just doing it in a very choppy style. This is very choppy heading towards there. When an earnings report on HIM's, let's see, the next one, May 8th. All right. So we know their last earnings was great, and it's moving up in anticipation of the next earnings report. Isn't it crazy how this chart worked out? I remember when this earnings hit, we're like, wow, we got excited. We were right for 2 days, and then it just shit the bed. And I'm not even sure if we were able to identify a catalyst why it should, just the choppy market. This market is so choppy, and you got to have conviction or else you get shaken out. And I ended up holding the 50 DMA support, and now it's going back to kind of where it should have been after that big beat. And now people are anticipating another beat, big giant cup formation forming here. That's going to be May 8th in the afternoon. If they beat again, this thing definitively breaks out of 12 and hits to $13 to $15. So something to watch on HIMS. GANX, this chart looks great. Also, another micro cap like the VTSI with low volume, but again, charts work over here. I just love that this candle yesterday and the day before, this looks like an inside candle after the previous candle where the low of the candle was above the 20 DMA. This just looks, to me, it just looks like it's going to crawl back up and test these levels again from this candle over here. 550 to 6, I think, is in play for GANX. And if you've been watching us, you know the thesis behind that and the catalyst we're potentially waiting for. We have a video on it, actually. You can go to youtube.com/StoryTrading and see the video on GANX, the interview we did of Jason Assad giving us the thesis on GANX. AUGX, another one that wants to break out. This is trading. It's consolidating between $2.70 and $3. $2.70 is a support. $3 is a resistance. One day, it's going to break out of 3, I believe, based on the strength of the deal with HCA and the artificial intelligence product they're building. And then you make a move towards 340. So and then LAZR, been trying to break out. When is earnings on LAZR? It's May 9th. Is it May 9th? May 9th, but is it in the morning or the afternoon? Let's see. We'll have to fill that in. May 9th may just be an estimate, actually. It may not be their actual earnings date. Maybe an estimate that the algos are picking up on based on, let me see if that's what we have here. Yeah, that's just an estimate date, it looks like. But LAZR been trying to break out. I mean, this has been tricky for me personally to try to trade, because to me, this is a major breakout level, the 20 DMA, and it didn't just like fly. It's been choppy after it broke this 20 DMA, and it's had a few fake, false moves below the 20 DMA. So this is something very interesting with a massive short position. And if it can hold this 20 DMA roughly, maybe not to the penny, then I think 640 is your target and then 7. So let's see if that happens. It'd be nice if it happens before the earnings report so you can make your money and run before the binary risk of an earnings report. And I just want to note, RUM has been very, very, very strong. It's made back all of its gains from the short report. And by the way, when it was like 750, when that short report came out, I'm like, this is a great time to sell puts on this. I continue to say RUM is probably one of the best stocks to sell puts on the entire year. If you do nothing else but sell puts on RUM for the whole year, you're probably going to make like 150% on the year. I'm not kidding you, right? And that only doesn't work if the stock like goes below 6 and stays below 6. And I just don't think that's happening. I think the stock will continue to have very, very high premiums. I'm sorry, very, very high sentiment premiums in the stock that fundamental analysts will not be able to make sense out of or accept. And they'll be screaming at the top of their lungs, the market makes no sense. Stupid people like Ben buy stocks like RUM. They shouldn't. They're stupid. The market's stupid. But in some ways they're stupid because they don't understand that sentiment value is part of market value and it's important in accounts. All right. So let's see what else. CYH was a big fail. We're watching that. We're trying to make some money off the volatility of the high premiums on options on that. DermTech, I love this as a potential lottery, right? Who knows what happens in the earnings report? We'll have to watch it closely. The earnings report is May 4th, tomorrow afternoon. Earnings report that's at CC and the PR. This is very interesting. They could easily shit the bed again, but this has lottery upside optionality, really does. So we got to watch that closely to see when we get an inflection in sales on DermTech. All right, that's it. I think we got some good leads for you today. Let's just look at this. Ooh, 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 ooh. News on some key stocks, guys. GANX awarded just right now, awarded 2.5 million grant to advanced lead program. And this chart was already good. This is going to hit our targets today, I believe. Oh, we just talked about it, didn't we? 550 to 6. It's curling up. Maybe someone knew about that grant coming their way. All right. Great news on GANX. Good. XXII earnings going to be on May 9th. May 9th. Is it before or after the close? Oh, it's going to be before the close. May 9th, XXII. Let's make sure to jot that down in our notes. So maybe an earnings anticipation run into that. Anyway, that was heading for our target anyway. At this point, with that catalyst, I think we just increased our chances. We just increased our chances of hitting that 50 DMA with that little news report out. As we continue to watch Microsoft, that was a fake print. That was a fake print. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Holding it tight long term, going to 344 plus. All right, guys, thank you for joining us. We'll be back with Chris Tuttle from Tuttle Trades at 10:30 a.m. And make sure if you're watching one of these replays here, get a free app at storytrading.com/app. And then you can join up as a VIP with a free trial to be able to see all of our events live, including, again, Tuttle Trades today at 10:30 a.m. And tomorrow we have Rexman for the very first time at noon Thursday. We'll see how that goes. Maybe we're going to make a regular segment out of that as well. So lots of good things cooking. We'll see you later. Thanks for joining.